Hello, my darling.
Oh, well, it's yourself. How are you?
I am fantastico.
I love your Christmas get-up tonight.
Oh, thank you so much.
I had made zero Christmas effort, as you can tell.
So I see.
Actually, I tell a lie. I went for Christmas green. It's more like Snodder green, but I went for green.
Grinch green. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. 224 packs in a trolley. Fa la 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 la. Grab me now a leather jacket. Fa la 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 la. Lift that hurley bat up and whack it. Fa la 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 la. Hi, listeners. It's a very jingly, happy, toe-tappy, happy, clappy Tina Legs tantrum.
Yes, and hello, I am Glenn Marshall Adams, and we are actually coming live the whole way from Chateau Tantrum.
The Deer Park Delight.
Tantrum Towers.
Tantrum Towers. Welcome, my darling. Welcome.
And I know that on the last episode, I said that your house was like a Christmas grotto, but your house is a Christmas grotto.
Isn't it just?
There's not a surface that's been left untouched by Christmas.
And when you come in the festival door, there is a 6 foot.
I seen him.
Did you see him?
I seen him.
Did you see him?
Is it the same as eye level to me as I come through the door?
I call him Big Chrissy. Big Chrissy clothes. And he's, ladies and gentlemen, he's actually 6 foot tall, and he's of gold and soft caramel and.
This is the one that you got from the park centre.
This is the one that I bargained down for 4 weeks because his glasses were missing and his face was cracked. But I bargained her down, and God love her, she gave me a good deal.
Good. Well, what is fresh with you? Tell me your biz. What have you been up to?
I have just been getting ready for Christmas, and I love to, you know me, if something needs doing, I'll have it done yesterday.
Oh, yes.
And I like to prepare even Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I've just been keeping my nose to the ground and getting on with everything, keeping a nice positive vibe going, as per usual, darling.
As per usual, you can always rely on you for a bit of
work.
You can always rely on you for a bit of positivity.
What about yourself, my love?
Well, actually, I've been pretty busy the past week. I've had a lot on between not being in Northern Ireland and what have you, but I was away at the weekend there with my family to Winter Wonderland.
During Storm Dara?
During Storm Dara. Now, Hyde Park was closed on the Saturday.
Wow.
It reopened again on the Sunday. I actually felt that the winds were a lot stronger on the Sunday than they were on the Saturday.
Yeah.
The rain was coming down slanty and everything. There's some of these really big rides there.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't there.
No, I know you weren't. Oh, I just got
clarification. Just clarification.
Just to clarify, when I'm referring to a big ride,
Your Honour, I was at home, not guilty, love.
I'm not referring to Tina Legs whenever I say big ride.
That's a Christmas cracker.
It's a Christmas miracle.
On 34th Street.
But yes, I went on a couple of those big rides, and one of the big rides that was like a giant windmill.
Oh.
Now, it's one of the biggest in the world, so it's one of these ones where you sort of sit in a row and then, there's one at either side of it and the whole thing rotates like a giant windmill. But the windmill kind of, the ride just rotates forwards and backwards, but see, whenever they were stopping you to put people on, you could actually feel it swaying laterally, so it was moving side to side as well. It's one of the very few times when I go on those rides that I was actually thinking, have I made a smart choice? Made all the wrong decisions.
Why? You were like, there was nowhere for you to go, and you're suddenly in a moment you went, why am I here?
Yeah, it was pretty much like that. I mean, we were stuck, like, I don't know how high it is. It felt like 10,000 feet in the air.
Oh my God.
But we were stuck really high up, and we were being sandblasted and being absolutely blasted with the super cold wind, rain. Anyway, it was a choice to go.
You paid for it.
And we paid for it, yes. So we did. Oh. But that was Winter Wonderland on the Sunday. But on the Saturday, now the whole purpose of us to go to Winter Wonderland. But we actually, on the Saturday night, we went to see the Panto at the Palladium. And it was, I'm going to use air quotes for the benefit of our listeners. I'm doing the air quotes sign. It was Robin Hood. And like most pantos, the plot was just about there.
And no more.
And no more. But they did have some big names in it. So it's Julian Clary's production. He's been doing it every year.
Right, okay.
You've got Nigel Havers. But we also had our Lord and Saviour, Jane McDonald. We've been so lucky. We've seen so much of Jane in the second half of this year. Now, she didn't have to learn anything for this. I mean, her lines, obviously, but in terms of the songs, when she sang all her own material. So she done like some of her big hits, and she done a Sell a Number as well. And it was all just the other sort of panto antics that went along.
Of course.
Very colourful. Like the outfits and all were really fabulous. There was like no expense spared on the production. Although for £80 a ticket. £80 a ticket.
Do you know what I would pay?
We do it every year, and I know that some people might go, that's £80 a ticket, that's bonkers. That was actually one of the cheaper tickets. With the Panto in London, they go right up to £300-400.
You see, I love the West End. I love Broadway. I love the musicals, and I would jump on a plane or a boat and I would travel to go and see.
But they're not doing it just, they're not doing it by half. This is a proper full-on production. There was
money's worth.
Oh my goodness. Like for the kids, there was again the opening scene, there was an animatronic T-Rex that came out on stage.
What?
A giant T-Rex.
In the Panto?
In the Panto. Again, like I said, remember that famous Tyrannosaurus? Do you remember, I'm doing the air quotes again. Do you remember the famous T-Rex in Robin Hood?
Right. Yeah, that one. Right, okay.
Like I said, the plot was very, very loose. And then there was like a giant dragon that was like spurting fire and all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You see, but then once that gets into the minds and the hearts of the kids, they're going to remember that. All those special effects, God love them. And, if I had a couple of kids, I would be saving and I would be bringing them, because it's such an authentic part of Christmas is the Christmas pantomime. I haven't been to one for many, many years, mind you. Haven't been to one. I would love to go down to the Opera House. I love May McFetrich. I love her.
Yeah, she's still going.
She's still going.
She's still
winging it. And she drops her one-liners, and she's just brilliant.
We went to the Adult Panto on Thursday last week.
Oh, here.
So this is the Adult Panto at the Waterfront Hall. It's called Sleeping with Beauty.
Right.
Now, pretty much the plot, it's following on the same kind of theme from last year's Adult Panto, which was called Jack and His Belfast Beanstalk.
Okay.
It featured Jared McCabe, Catherine Rutherford, Terry Keeley and Maddie Cavan.
Oh,
and Cherry on Top.
Wait, Cherry.
And it was probably one of the filthiest fairy tales we've been to.
Was it disgusting?
From a panto. Not disgusting, just filth.
Lovely.
But it was actually the whole the plot, again, I'm using the air quotes. It was basically the dame was called Dame Irene Board, as an Iron board, but Irene Board. And the whole plot was she was trying to steal Sleeping Beauty's phone. So Irene Board could get access to all of the dick pics that Sleeping Beauty had on her phone that she managed to acquire through TikTok.
Right, okay.
And that was kind of the premise.
That was it?
That was the kind of the premise. But
sounds hilarious.
It was very funny, I have to say. It was actually written by the man himself, Mr. Gordon Crawford. AKA Trudy Scrumptious. But there was a lot of laugh out loud moments, I have to say. It was very funny. But I am pantoed out now.
You're done.
2 in a week was enough.
Yeah.
But yes, I like the idea of going to the Grand Opera House to see a Christmas panto. I'd definitely be up for doing that with
you. In the run up to Christmas, the week up to Christmas, like just before, even a few days before, I don't know if there's tickets available. I don't know if I'll be able to go. So I'm very busy, you see.
You are terribly busy.
Yes, I've got lots of Christmas shopping to do.
Nobody knows, but Tina's a secret elf.
I am.
She's supporting Santa. But for anybody that is interested in the Adult Panto, it's running from the 20th of November until the 29th of December. Tickets are £20 each, and there's a booking fee as well. And you might actually bump into a celebrity.
Really?
Yes, when we were there, Brian McFadden from Westlife was there, and Keith Duffy from Boyzone.
Them two on the drink again?
They were.
Yeah.
They were. But they were there, and they were getting photographs and all taken.
And they were loving it. We were down in the Maverick afterwards.
Were they? Oh, I didn't realise they were. Oh, were they? Right, okay.
I have my sources. Oh, they love an old bop around the old queer quarter, them two, so they do.
Right, partying.
Not that I'm insinuating anything. They're just nice. They know a nice, safe venue and bar and location when they find one.
Indeed. Well, I'm just back in from getting my Christmas decorations sorted. I was strolling down the vibrant Lisburn Road and discovered Herbert Gold, an interior design shop which was transformed into a festive wonderland. The space was beautifully adorned with seasonal decor, but nothing could prepare me for the jaw-dropping sight that I found around the corner. A fabulous rainbow disco ball tree. Its shimmering colours radiated with essence of pride, reflecting love and inclusivity in every glimmer. This dazzling display was a perfect reminder that even in the realm of interior design, we can embrace our true selves. The tree blended festive cheer with an unapologetic fabulousness, making it clear that the Christmas season is all about celebrating diversity and joy. For me, well, I left feeling inspired, knowing that love and pride can light up any space, especially during the most wonderful time of the year. Check it out, Herbert Gold on the Lisburn Road. I did want to catch up with you about the latest TV show on BBC Three and BBC iPlayer.
I know what you're going to say to me.
What?
Smoggie Queens.
Smoggie Queens. Oh, yes. Oh, well. It's about time we've got some sort of slapstick drag queen comedy.
And when you sent the link to me, I thought, oh, God, all right, well, very busy. I started it. And I was rolling around my bed. And I mean, I was rolling around my bed and the tears were tripping me because whoever created that, they're the most darkest, sarcastic, unforgiving, merciless sense of drag queen humour I have ever watched on a TV performance. To take all the different types of queens and characters, mush them all up. You mean you had your fag hag, you had your lesbian, you had your brand new baby queen, then you had your old mama queen, then they had the one who's stuck in between queen. She's not too young and she's not too old, but my God, and the storylines were just, and some of the one-liners, you know what, it's got me through quite a lot when I think back to some of the things. I literally, because as a drag queen, I knew some of the stuff that was going to be said, and I couldn't believe they said it. And I thought, this is what the scene is missing. Yeah. This is what we need more of on television. This is look. What was his name? Dickie?
So it's the ensemble that you, first of all, you mentioned there that the story and the character. So it's actually written by Middlesbrough native Phil Dunning. He's the actual guy that wrote it.
Love that.
But he also plays the volatile drag queen of Dickie. So Dickie's the main character.
Dickie's the main character.
And then it has the ensemble cast, which is Mam, as you've already mentioned.
Yeah.
She's a middle-aged drag queen played by Mark Benton. Now, he's most famously known as playing Eddie in Early Doors in the early noughties.
That's right.
And then you've got the character of Lucinda. Lucinda's a self-styled hun. Yeah. She's played by Alexandra Mardell. And then you've got Sal, who is the awkward aspiring singer slash lesbian. She's played by Patsy Lowe. And then you've got
amazing.
She was so good.
She was so good.
And then you've got Stuart, who you've already mentioned. He was the naive newcomer, and he's played by Elijah Young.
I have to say, I just found it the most. Do you know what I was so grateful for? That it was so far from what we're so used to seeing. You know, the glamour and the sparkle and the expense. And I just was looking at all these queens going, this is my kind of drag. This is total and utter, like, ugh.
But I think it's the way
so perfect.
The way that the comedy is sort of centered. So, you know, to kind of describe the concept of it, like you've already kind of touched on it, but it is a comedy that's centered around a close-knit group of LGBTQIA plus friends. It is set in Middlesbrough. Gay friends, yeah. And they're basically celebrating, you know, all things, you know, pride related in the northeast of England. And it highlights the underdog spirit of both the characters and the neglected community in that area. It just, the humour, like, and everything
was off the chart.
It's just, it has its high points. There's some of the jokes that are really funny.
Yeah.
Some of them, you know, okay. But as you've already pointed out, it's like, that's
I'm having flashbacks.
The murder mystery episode
was the best one. Was the best one. And every time Dickie kept going to do it, all you heard was ding dong. Oh, for coming, and the whole time, what did you call the lesbian?
Sal.
She lay dead.
She didn't move. The floor. Well, of course, because in that episode, it was a murder mystery.
It was a murder mystery.
They all went round to Dickie's house.
Yeah.
And they were playing games night. It was a murder mystery. Yeah. And Sal was murdered. And then they by being stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
And then they all had to take it in turns.
Exactly.
Sort of guessing who was who.
It was a real, what did you call it, detective?
Poirot.
Poirot, yes, that's what it was. Murder on the Orient Express, done by a bunch of queens. And there was thunder and lightning. And you see when the wee lesbian came to the door, and the light went down. And she was just stood there, she was eating like a Cornish pie. And she just went, can I come in? And I hello? And I was just, the tears are tripping me right now and I just thought, you know what, if ever I'm going to have another kind of crappy day, Smoggie Queens, even though I just watched you recently, I want to try and not think about you as much as what I've been thinking about you. But hats off to Dickie. Mm-hmm. Hats off. Thank you for bringing back the unforgiven people of drag who love their own drag. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like when I saw Dickie in the back of the taxi and he was full and he was convinced he knew rightly, he gave the taxi driver a fiver and the taxi driver says, that's £8, love, and yeah, keep a change. And he walked away and the taxi man was going, here, that's a fiver. And she was like, and she just walked on. And I thought, oh my God.
But even just taking the whole aesthetic of Dickie, it's like the painted on eyebrows, one eyebrow that's so way far up his head. He's got a permanent raised eyebrow.
Yeah. And he's just totally convinced he is stunning. And I think in a way he is, because I've never seen, he's obviously created that character and thought, how am I going to get people to remember me? And he's just went and got a big box of Crayola and just went
face planted a box of Crayola. 100%.
And he has went, oh, look at that, that's gorgeous, they're going to remember me. Because it's like horror comedy drag.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. It was so funny.
Like it totally embraces the idea of camp culture and mixes it with kind of like,
I want more.
With the deadpan humour.
Yeah.
Your sort of, your favourite kind of tackiness.
Yes.
And it also has lots of pop culture references as well. So they talked about Bewitched and Bargain Hunt, Lorraine Kelly.
Girls Aloud.
But it also does explore the idea of chosen family, which I don't think really we've ever sort of spoke about before on the pod, but you know, this idea of when you're in the LGBTQIA plus community, because it is a community, that you end up running around with people and they then become your family. They're the people you've chose to surround yourself with.
Well, when you think about it, that is actually us.
Yeah.
You know, here you are sitting in my house and it's a safe house. It's the gayest house on the Deer Park Road.
It's the Christmas. The Christmas.
And I guess in a way, there's lots of wee communities all around the land, all around the world. And there's a mama drag queen, and there's a baby drag queen, and there's a lesbian, and there's your fag hag, and there's your hairdresser, and then there's your in-betweener, funny kind of, you know, Dickie.
Yeah.
And I think you've got those groups, those polyps within each community. And this is not just LGBTQIA. This is also lots of different. I like to see lovely sets of friends and people who can rely on one another. I'm all about, really am about positivity and kindness. And I love to see, that to me when I watched it at the end, gave me such a feeling of content. Because, you know, I don't want to spoil it, but the end nearly broke my heart.
Yeah.
It was sad. And what that really was, even though it was fantastic, boom, there's reality.
Yeah.
Here's what can happen.
Yeah. And it goes back to this idea and concept of chosen family.
Chosen family.
But I think that the whole sort of series, it did do it with a degree of heartwarming warmth. and the chaotic dynamics that go with having an LGBTQIA chosen family.
I often was watching it and thinking to myself, see the Titanic episode? The Titanic episode nearly made me wet myself about 372 million times. And when he was sitting at the bar flirting with a really handsome barman, and he was so drunk, he was eating the bingo pen, but still thinking he was friggin' gorgeous. And he was dabbing his teeth. And I go, Jack. And I literally, and as the tears are tripping down my face right now, folks, that's how funny Smoggie Queens actually is. Please, BBC Three iPlayer, is that right?
BBC Three.
BBC Three.
So it's on normal TV. They're showing, I don't think they've showed them all, but I think they've showed them a couple every week. But you can catch them all on BBC iPlayer.
Hilarious.
Just as you've already said, Tina, like it does feature bold moments. Like a wake. Do you remember the wake for his relationship? This is where Dickie's character gets dumped. So they they actually have a wake. An actual wake for his relationship. But as you said, the Titanic drag brunch, which is kind of like really current. Yeah. Maybe the wake is not something I've explored before, but themed drag brunches and so on, as you know, we do our own. But yeah, I feel that it had definitely a unique focus then on LGBTQIA life in like somewhere like Middlesbrough, which you don't really get because everything's kind of focused on Manchester or London or
Leeds.
You know, so it's kind of nice to have a different perspective. But for me personally, the standout performance through it all, I don't know that Dickie is a really good character, but Mam,
what was she like?
Mam is just the Mam character, which as I mentioned already is played by Mark Benton, is just so funny. Like he properly, like if I didn't realise who he was, I would have thought that he was just a drag queen. Yeah. He really, really took to that role. And the scene at the scene at the murder mystery.
When he couldn't get into character.
But it was the
this is Purple Bubblecock. And Dickie was shouting at him, and he's going, sorry, but I can't get into character, Mrs. Purple Bubblecock. And then he got up and then he disappeared, and it was like he went out that door and came in that door, and he was just completely dressed in this hideous, gorgeous, over the top Dame Panto outfit, and it was all in 2 seconds, and everybody went, whoo, whoo. How did you do that?
I'm a professional. I've been at this for years. That's a skill you need to learn, Lexi.
Oh, listen. But what I also loved was, you know, when they were all, you remember the scene where they all come out of the nightclub because the lesbian and the wee fag hag, she wasn't allowed to go to the men only night.
Yes.
But then she dressed up in leather and all. And at the end, anyway, they all got turfed out and they were all sitting. And he ended up saying that he has a son and that he left it too late and he really regretted it because he knows how happy he is.
Yeah.
And I was looking at him and thinking, wow, that's so. But it also made me think this. I was so glad that I didn't wait.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't know why I had that strong connection with Mam, the character, because I am probably the oldest drag queen in Northern Ireland and I'm very proud of it. I actually love getting older, but at the same time, you know, as they say, with age comes wisdom and professionalism and things like that. And he had said about his wee son, and he hasn't seen him in a very long time, which made me think two things. I was looking at her and thinking, wow. But it also made me think, could there be a possible second series?
So I actually did have a look last night because I only finished it last night, and there's nothing on the Tinterweb just yet about a second season. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
You know what we should do? We should start a campaign.
Do you mean like a House of Commons one? See if we can get 5 million signatures?
Well, I think from the Drags to Riches headquarters, we should pop up on post. How do you feel about Smoggie Queens
Season 2?
We demand it. Glenn Marshall Adams and Dame Tina Legs Tantrum.
You're a dame now?
Yeah,
did you just give yourself a damehood?
I did. Give myself a wee honour there. Another wee notch on my wee gorgeous belt.
Dear.
Another string to my bow, dear.
Oh dear.
Yes.
got a damehood along with your Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's it. Oh my God. What's been your most memorable moment so far of 2024?
My most memorable moment?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Has there been a moment that's made you stop and go, wow? I know you love to be surprised in via intelligence. When you see something in front of you and it's to do with the internet or software, and you will never let it beat you. Sometimes I often wonder, and I look at you and I think to myself, who is he? Or else, that was meant to be a joke, by the way.
Uh-huh. Sorry.
Thanks.
Insert laugh.
But I'm often...
I thought you were getting really deep and meaningful there. That's all.
Are you mad? This is a podcast, love. But sometimes I look at you and I think to myself, I wonder, is there anything that stifles him? What is it that would make Glenn go, oh, I actually don't know the answer to that?
Asking me a question about what's my most memorable thing this year is a pretty good start, I have to say.
I just did it, didn't I?
Yeah. I think it's kind of hard because I kind of default just to like the obvious things, like, oh, well, I had a really memorable holiday away and, you know, those kind of things. I'm sure there's been many, many, many memorable moments, but I just can't fairly think of it right now. Do you know that way? What about you?
Well, for me, I was just actually really glad to get the 57.
That is an achievement.
Add
that to your list of other things that you've done this year that you've been given an award for.
More strings to the bow, more strings to the bow. Yeah, just kind of sort of glad that I got to 57 and closer to 60 now, which I'm very excited about. And I do believe, I don't know when I hear other people and they really hate getting older. I love it. I absolutely adore it.
I don't mind getting older either. Like,
do you not?
No, I mean, like it's...
You can't stop it.
You can't stop aging, like, you know.
You can't. I mean, I look at... Me and Mummy sat and watched Cher the other day and she was being interviewed by Josie on This Morning. And Josie's eyes were so big because she had this mega superstar sitting in front of her. And my mummy, obviously being a wonderful lady of 83, thanks be to God. That's another thing I'm grateful for 2024. And my mummy was mesmerised. And she must have asked me about 4 times. Now, Tina, how old does your woman there, Cher? And I was like, Mummy, she's 79. No way. And then my mummy started looking up and down herself and fixing her wee jumper and her wee cardigan because my mummy's 83 and they're sure sitting like a teenager only out of Dunville Park by a carry-out. Do you know what I mean? I was like she just looks like she just bounced out of the back of a stolen car, bought 2 bottles of Strongbow, 20 fags, and all her mates are going around to meet her on the swings.
I mean, to be fair, if your ma had Cher's money, I'm pretty sure your ma would look like Cher, how Cher looks, to be fair, because Cher's is not shy of a few bob, that's
no,
for
she's
sure.
not, you know.
Well, look, Miss Legs, I am always the bearer of bad news, but this is the end of another episode. This has been our one for the road.
Aww.
I know. So before we go, we just have some time for our skip or sip.
Skip or sip.
Yes, so we've just got time for our skip or sip section. I have the cards in hand, which I am right now fanning, but pretending to shuffle. But I will shuffle, just shuffling. When you shuffle them over here, they don't make any noise, you see. So I'm just going to fan them.
Oh, I like this. Alright, I know your answer.
Okay. So when you're ready, Miss Legs, you have got your...
darling, here we go. So it's sip or skip.
Yes.
They dress their pets up or have accessories for the pets.
This is probably going to be a sip for me. It doesn't really bother me that much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Some people can go over the top, but for me, it doesn't really bother me. So it's a sip for me. What about you?
Well, I think it's a sip for me because if someone is that passionate about their babies and they want to spend money on accessories, I don't necessarily agree with it. You know, the one thing about accessories I don't like, don't put those glove paw things on the dog's paws. It must be the most irritating thing for those poor wee animals. And dogs, no matter how big or small, do not go into prams. They do not go into
What
prams.
about bags, handbags?
Oh, please stop it. Every dog.
You'd not
What
be
a dog.
tempted to get yourself a Louis Vuitton for Thumper?
I did on. My thumper would look at me and go to me, you better get that away from me, Mum. I am telling you now. There is no chance. Listen, I'm not bouncing around North Belfast looking like you on a night out. Get that off me.
Oh dear. Okay. Here we go. My turn. They sing the wrong lyrics to their favourite song.
Oh, it irritates me. Oh.
I know music.
Uh-huh.
But I don't really know a lot of the lyrics to a lot of
You
songs.
see, I do.
And I'm very good at hiding. But I don't know a lot of the lyrics. So for me, this is probably going to be a sip, because I am one of these people.
How often and how many times have you and I been doing the G&T karaoke show, and someone will get up and sing a song, and I'm stood beside you singing it, and you'll go to me, how do you know that?
Yeah, that's true. And I have to move to the edge of the DJ box so I can see the the screen.
So you can see the screen. And it's the classics. It's all the classics, and from the 60s, the 70s and more. But what I do love is when someone gets up to sing, and even when the words are appearing in front of them and they still get it wrong because they're so used to singing the words, the words that they've been singing for years. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God. Peter Kay, when he was in concert, and he was in certain words that he thought that Sister Sledge had one, something about the vicar.
Right. I've seen Peter Kay do this. I just can't remember.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
And that's how he was able to perform when he portrayed that and performed that on stage. It was like, it's so true. Mm-hmm. It is so true. The vicar was dead or something like that. And that's what it sounded when you put the song on and everybody went in this hysterics laughing because it's true. That for me is a sip.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Sure.
They tuck their napkin into their shirt when they go out for dinner.
I also do this.
Do you know what? So do I.
It's only because I'm a really messy eater.
So am I.
I probably don't do it I don't do it with every food, but I probably would do it with a lot of foods, to be fair, particularly like pastas and stuff like that. I would tend to I'd be that person that sucks on the pasta rather than just sort of shove it in your gob. Do you know that way?
I'm seeing it's pasta and it's beautiful and it's cooked to perfection. I lick the bowl. I'm that person sitting at that table and I tip, all that lovely sauce. Uh-huh. And I tilt the whole head back, and then I wait until it's dropped into my chin, and then I lick the bowl the whole way around, and then I set it down, and I've got the carbonara sauce base, right? Like the ready break glow, the whole way around, and then and my makeup and all's running, and it's all down the first napkin, the other napkin that's centered on my belly, and then the third napkin, which is across my knees.
I would just bring you a towel next time.
Or just take all my clothes off.
Oh, you're awfully saucy.
Sit in my birthday suit with a big smile and a big updo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that a sip or a skip?
Oh, sip.
Yeah, sip for me. Yeah. Okay. This is the last one.
Oh, love it.
They collect figurines. This is a bit of a skip for me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I collecting things. I just
you're not a hoarder.
I'm not a hoarder. Oh, I'm definitely not a hoarder.
No, you're not.
Oh my goodness!
You are minimalistic.
I am a cobwebber. Is what
you are anal minimalistic.
What are you saying about me? My mum listens to this.
Hi, Eloise. Sorry, Pat.
I am a cobwebber, and that's kind of somebody that just constantly clears out.
Yeah,
I am definitely that. So a collector of figurines and stuff. I don't know, what do you do with them? Like so you've collected your 500 dolls or whatever it is, then what do you do with them?
It's the joy of having them.
But do you sort of play with them, or what do you do?
Well, you can play with them, you can mother whatever the collection is.
Collect dust though. That's
for people who are into figurines and little cars and train sets and things like that. I think it's just a very kind of sort of, when you were little, when you're little, right?
Right.
And you were like, saying I grow up, I swear to God, I am never going to stop buying dolls. And you just never stop buying dolls, and you have like 3,000 dolls, you know,
Yeah.
and you look after them and you keep them immaculate. And it just gives you I think it gives people that level of your own satisfactory responsibility.
Is it like a comfort thing? Is that
Yeah.
kind of what you're saying? Like it's
Soothing comfort.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, I think, a bit of a skip for me. Just for the
it's a skip.
purposes that I just don't see the point. I guess. Although in saying that now, you know, now that I'm thinking about this, I used to collect DVDs and Blu-rays. So
I know you did.
technically- But this is about figurines, not DVDs and Blu-rays. So
Well, it's a sip for me.
okay. Well, that is the end.
Aw.
But before we go,
Okay.
I just have one or two Christmas jokes to tell you.
Oh no.
Hold on to get the box.
If Halloween was your left leg and Christmas was your right leg, don't believe you me, I'd be over there for all seasons.
Okay. What does Santa... sorry, start again. Okay. So a couple of Christmas jokes for you.
Okay.
How does Santa take pictures?
I have no idea.
With a North Polaroid. What is Santa's favourite donut?
Tell me.
One with a hole. Okay, one more.
Okay, now if you must. Somebody's on a North Pole roll. Go.
What do elves do after school?
I think I've heard this.
Their gnome work.
Oh. And with that said,
Yes, listen, Lexi, I know for a fact you're going to be coming to me and asking me, here, to see them Christmas jokes, can you send me some
you
of them?
send me some of them?
'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, I am just a fun guy.
yeah. I
Only
forgot
second.
about DJ Mushroom. Almost. Still haven't forgot about your drag queen's secret super crush.
My secret drag queen crush.
Yes.
Well, you know, we never know. Maybe in the new year we might have
A big revelation.
might have a number of confessions for the new year. Well, listen, Lexi, it's been great.
It has been marvellous.
Till next time.
Chin chin.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of G&T Sips and Giggles. If you've enjoyed our conversation, then don't forget to share it with your friends, and why not subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Your reviews mean the world to us and really help others find the show, so please take a moment to leave one, but be kind. If you'd like to support the podcast, why not consider joining us on Patreon? For the cost of a drink a month, you can listen to episodes early, access exclusive digital content, and get discounts to upcoming G&T shows. Your support helps us keep the conversation flowing. Cheers, we'll see you next time. Chin chin.